Hi everyone, so today we are looking at the Dune Part 2 color grading using PFA Color Suite 6.1.14. You will be able to achieve the same exact result with the trial version by the end of this video. Those deep orange and desaturated teals in Arrakis scenes look very impossible to replicate without building a 20-node trace, but today we are just going to do it in one node, one plugin, while maintaining that subtractive density that makes film look like film instead of digital video. We will use the film separation to massage the Vectorscope, movie density to add that celluloid richness, and film printer lights to control the emotional mood. So let's start by setting up the color space and analyzing what makes the Dune palette so distinct. First thing we do is to add a color space transform. We have converted from DaVinci White Gamma to Red 709 2.4. This gives us a standard starting point, so our adjustments behave predictably across different footage. Now, we put a node before it and open PFA Color Suite and turn on the Vectorscope. Look at where the color distribution sits in the original shot. We have got a very decent amount of yellow and blue information, which is exactly what we need for Arrakis palette. The key here is understanding that we are not just pushing saturation sliders, we are actually spreading and massaging the color information along very specific mixing lines. So let's go straight to film separation. We can elaborate on the blue and yellow palette to spread the colors across the Vectorscope. Watch how we are stretching the amount of color information within the original palette without losing density. This is different from the standard saturation tools that just multiply chroma values and makes everything looks very flat and digital. We are redistributing the color vectors themselves. Now we go deeper into movie density. This is the subtractive color engine that creates the saturation while decreasing the luminance at the same time. That's the secret to why Dune doesn't look digital. In real film, more dye means less light passing through the negative. Standard digital tools violate this physics rule by making colors brighter as they get more saturated. Movie density fixes that violation, so the colors pop but they stay rich and dense like celluloid. Next decision point. What do we want to tell in this scene? What's the emotional feeling that we want to intentionally create? If you want it warmer, we can use hue rotation or stretch the palette to a different area, but the real power move is the film color mixer. Watch what happens when we just shift one slider to create that teal and orange look. We are forming a very distinct color mixing that massages all the pixel and color information in our Vectorscope. The normalizations happens naturally because the engine understands the vector relationship, not just RGB channels. And this is super difficult to recreate on your default DaVinci Resolve. Or we can switch to teal and pink and watch how it creates a different mood instantly. Teal and orange versus teal and pink are two different emotional vibes. Since we choose teal and pink for this grade, we can go deeper into film separation and elaborate the distinct look along the red and cyan line. We spread it across the frame. Look at how the Vectorscope stretches specifically to the red and cyan axis, but we still have the blue and yellow information in the shot. So we can increase that spread as well. Even magenta and green can be adjusted to massage the Vectorscope in the exact shape we want. That gives us a very strong result already. Now we are looking at film tonal curve. If you want that filmic gray in the shadows, turn on curve overlay. Increase the shadow black points and increase the shadow roll off. This treatment adds the very filmic density to the tonal curve itself. The curve asymptotically approaches black, but never crashes it so hard. So you get that soft lifted shadow look without losing contrast in the midtone. That is something standard curves can't achieve without multiple control points and manual keying. Next, we go to film printer lights. This is where you decide where you really want to tell with the emotion of the shot. Do you want it warm or sentimental? If you want it more sentimental, increase the blue, increase the cyan, and reduce the yellow. That adds a layer of coolness to the atmosphere. But if you want to elaborate more of the nostalgia or memory of this scene, increase the green and increase yellow. Watch how nicely it's protecting the effect without affecting the skin tone at all. This protection system is what makes our tool unique. If you reduce the skin and shadow protection, it affects globally like the normal printer lights. But we are able to apply this adjustment and watch the atmosphere shift in the frame. While faces stay natural and black stay pure, The shadow protection keeps your deepest black from picking up color casts even when you push to the extreme tints. The skin tone protection automatically shields the flesh tones, so you can create a scene totally ice blue and the actor's face stays natural all the way and resists the tint. We can go even deeper. If you want to enhance the specific color, turn on all masks and check what we are working with. The shirt here seems to be yellow, so we can massage the yellow in the shot to elaborate and change both the skin tones and the shirt color. That's how easily we can create the look from the original to the final grade in a single note. So let's compare this to the original shot from the movie. This is the reference still from Dune Part 2 trailer, and this is our grade. The original film still is more natural. They create a neutral color palette for this scene without significant color shift. We built something with more emotion to tell a very different kind of story. But here is what is really powerful about this system. We can create presets that maintain all the consistency across all shots. Let's save this as a preset with today's date. Now we go to another Dune's frame and apply the effect. Watch how well this color grade stays consistent in terms of the outcomes. This is before, this is after. The amount of grading we have done is coherent and consistent across completely different shots. That's the most powerful thing about our parametric toolkit. Whether you create in one shot is easily replicable on another one because the look isn't developed by lots. It's every single slider adjustment compiled together to make the big difference. So you can still go inside and calibrate all the various different parameters after loading the preset. Next, we can try this on our own 10-bit 4:2 footage to see how well the grade translates. Let's pick a normal shot and apply the same presets. Look at how well the grade stays on this palette. It produced exactly the same result. And look what we have just created on the Dune stills. But now, on the completely different source material with 10-bit footage, your image will be even better because the amount of color information available even if you are shooting at 12-bit RAW. If you don't like specific elements, you can use Cinepulse AI to regrade the entire shot with zero degradation. Load the preset, readjust just the printer light, regrade a specific section using AI, create a different mood, and there is zero bending in the image because we are actually using a 32-bit float math. And that is the power of this entire toolkit. So that's the technique. One note, replace the entire manual workflow while maintaining subtractive color density and 32-bit float math precision. You can download the free trial at the link in the description and test all the functions and AI features risk-free. Right now, we have a limited time offer of $199 instead of $299. But it's ending in less than 2 weeks. So grab this discount before it returns to the full price. Recreate the Arrakis look on your own footage. My name is Nash, passion, fuels, ambition, and I will see you in the next one.